welcome to round 4 of grade 12 dance pieces. For those of you who don't know, I'm McCurdy. And for my piece, I chose a spoken word poem as my music and main influence on my theme. The poem I chose is Remember How We Forgot by Koyczan. And I chose it because his voice has an honest and raw quality about it, and I wanted to experiment with movement and see if I could portray that honesty and rawness through dance. I wanted to use a poem in the place of a more traditional instrumental or lyric piece of music because I've always loved spoken word and slam poetry, and I've always found that it had a quality about it that I couldn't find in any music I listened to while searching for my piece. And I chose one of Koyczan's poem because he was my first introduction to spoken word, and it just seemed fitting to use one of his. So the theme of my piece is being in a stage of transition from childhood to adulthood, getting ready to move on into the next stage of life, but also reminiscing about the one you're about to leave behind. It can also be looked at as not being ready to go through that transition. Having experienced small parts of being an adult, teenagers cling to the memories of their childhood because they're not ready to give up that comfort and safety net. By the end of my piece, my dancers are ready to move on to the next stage of life because they realize that they can bring pieces of themselves from the past into the future. That it's important to remember who you were so that you can become everything you're supposed to be. Just as we bring pieces of ourselves as well as our memories and places we've been in the past along with us into the future, we leave pieces of ourselves everywhere we've been. The most prominent example of this is the parts of us that we will leave behind in the school after we graduate, and that we will always be a part of the school's history just as it will always be a part of our story. My costumes are teal lace tops with black velvet skirts. I wanted them to be very simple and look like regular, everyday clothing, while still maintaining the look of a costume and bringing my dancers together as a unit. My lighting is also very simple and reflects the honesty of the poem, since it's not over the top or too harsh, but rather natural and organic. For my thank yous, I'd like to start off by thanking the techies for helping me with my lighting. Everything you do is so appreciated in this school, so thank you. And I'd also like to thank all the Canterbury dance teachers for giving me this amazing opportunity to choreograph a piece and for also being so supportive during my 4 years at this school. You have all helped shape me into the dancer I am today. To my parents, thank you for your infinite amount of support. You have been there for me throughout this whole process and through my whole life, and I love you both so much. To my amazing second family at Callie Andrews Dance Company, coming to the studio is always my favorite part of any day, and you're such an amazing group of people. I'm so honored to get to dance alongside all of you. To Callie and Lyndon, thank you for having such an amazing studio where I can dance, grow, and explore all aspects of dance. To Emery, thank you for being the most supportive ballet teacher I've ever had. You've always supported me through every class, even though we both know ballet is not my thing. To Brandon, thank you. First of all, thank you for cutting my music for me. And secondly, thank you for believing in me as a contemporary dancer, even when I didn't believe in myself. And it's your support and guidance that's gotten me to this point, so I am forever grateful for everything you've done for me. And finally, a huge thank you to my 7 beautifully amazing dancers, without whom none of this would have been possible. You have all been so committed to my piece since day one, and have made it everything I wanted it to be and more. So thank you to Kayla, Iley, Marushka, Myranda, Bingham, Abby White, Cheyenne, Wynia, Zoe, Jacoule, and Deanna, Shannon. And thank you all so much for being here, and I hope you enjoy my piece entitled We Were Here. Thank you.
Remember how we forgot? Remember how no one ever really died in the wars we fought? 'Cause each gunshot came from our fingertips, and we never really kept them loaded just in case. 'Cause each enemy was a friend, and none of it was about oil, religion, or land. It was all just pretend. Remember how we used to bend reality like we were circus strongmen, like our imaginations were in shape then, like we were all ninjas trained in the deadly art of did not. Like, I totally got you. Did not. Remember how we forgot? Even though we'd never really kissed anyone, even though we never did half the things we said we'd done, we just spun yarns like Rumpelstiltskin spun gold. We told ghost stories, never realizing we would one day ourselves become ghosts haunting the hallways of schools, poltergeists breaking all the rules of silence in the library. But we had no chains to rattle. No voice to battle the fact that we had no vocal cords. We had only fingernails on chalkboards, and it would scream, shout, and yell, trying to tell ourselves what experience teaches, what no teacher taught. Remember how we forgot? And when I ask you to remember, it's because the future isn't what it used to be. So remember now. Pay tribute to every sacrifice laid upon the altar of somehow. For all the times somehow we overcame, somehow we pushed on, somehow we've gone the distance, and in going there we possess the freedom to map the uncharted lands of any and everywhere. We are unbound, 6 feet above the underground, where we will all one day rest. So until then, test the limits. That's the boundaries and borders, the headquarters potential laid just beyond the world's edge. Let the belief that hope belongs to us all be the pledge you take to make the unachievable as inconceivable as the false fact that we were never here. We were here. And our memories are as dear to us as every slow motion moment of our held breath. So remember every instant before death. Every first kiss, first dance, near miss, last chance, yes, no, maybe. So let us go the distance once more. Let us remember all the moments that were and were not. Like the point is something we can get. What we can get is what we got, because all we have the times between the moments we connect each dot. So live and remember. Burn like an ember, capable of starting fires. Like each moment inspires the next. Like memories of the context we put ourselves in, so that life becomes the next of kin we need to notify in case of a big bang or extinction level event. Let now be our advent. Let us live like we meant it. Let us burn like we mean it. Because this world doesn't give a shit if we end in a train wreck or a car crash. If our story ends with a dot or a dash, if we were dust or ash, because all we were is all we'll be, and all we are is the in-between of so far, so good. So forget every would, coulda, should not. Forget remembering how we forgot. Live like a plot twist exists now and in memory, because we burn bright. Our light leaves scars on the sun. Let no one say we'll be undone by time's passing. The memories we are amassing will stand as testament that somehow we bent minds around the concept that we see others within ourselves, that self-knowledge can't be found on bookshelves. So who we are has no bearing on how we appear. Look directly into every mirror. Realize our reflection is the first sentence to a story. And our story starts... We were here.